What's up guys, Tim Little, welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today we're covering cheap baits that actually work. Inexpensive baits that actually produce fish. I got crankbaits, I got some jigs, some jig trailers, some soft plastics, some swim baits. So come along as I cover some of my favorite baits that don't break the bank but put fish in the boat. So today's video, some inexpensive baits to refill your arsenal. But today's video, some inexpensive baits that you guys should check out that doesn't break the bank. Starting off, let's talk soft plastics. First bait I want to talk about is this guy right here. This is the Yumdinger. This bait is fairly inexpensive in the stick bait category. You know, you guys have heard us talk about the Yamamoto Cinco, and that is hands down our favorite stick bait. For me, if I am, you know, when I was fishing tournaments, I had money on the line, or if I really want to focus on the stick bait bite, I will go with the Cinco. But let me tell you, this guy right here, this is the Yumdinger. And it retails for, I believe, $2.89 or $2.99, so sub $3, and it catches them. Comes in great colors. We've done underwater footage of this bait before, and it works. It's a slower fall. It's not quite as heavy as a Cinco, but those of you guys that are bank fishermen, pond fishermen, fun fishermen, fishing with your wives, your kids, your grandkids, whatever it may be, don't forget about the Dinger. Again, very inexpensive. You know, less than $3 a pack, and it produces fish. They come in a 5-inch, a 6-inch, and a 7-inch, so don't be a sleeper on the Yumdinger. You know, this time of year, as those fish move in shallow, they move into the tules, they're coming up to spawn, and they're getting in that cover, in the branches, in the laydowns. A weedless stick bait is a must-have bait tied on. So like I said, don't leave home without the Yumdinger, you guys. These actually work. They have a different fall, a different presentation than a traditional Cinco, so check these guys out. The next bait that I want to talk to you guys about, it's no secret on our channel, we've done several videos on them themselves, is the Zoom Super Fluke. We've done specific videos on how to rig them, you know, rig them weedless, rig them with a owner centering pin, and have the nose hook on the face. But a Zoom Super Fluke, this time of year I really like to rig them weedless, rig it Texas rig. Again, fish it through the same stuff that you're gonna fish your weightless stick bait in, but this is a reaction bait. You know, the Yumdinger, you're gonna fire it out there and let it fall, and it's just a super finessey, realistic fall to try and get those fish to come over and eat it. Whereas the Super Fluke, you get real erratic with it. Again, you rig it Texas rigged, so it's weedless, and rip pause, and it's a jerk bait. It's a soft plastic jerk bait that comes through structure, comes through tules, comes through laydowns, whatever you might be fishing on your pond or body of water. But a Zoom Super Fluke is an awesome bait. This time of year, you guys should be throwing them. So the Super Fluke and the Yumdinger are my two soft plastic baits that I highly recommend. If you guys haven't loaded up on them or got yourself some, check these guys out right here. All right, so now let's talk about football jigs. You know, the Bass Patrol jig, we've done videos on it in the past, but it is a very inexpensive bait. But you jig fishermen, it works. It is awesome. It's got a great hook in it. It's got a living rubber skirt. For those of you guys that don't know what that does, it puffs up in the water more. It gives more action without actual rod tip action. It just kind of dances in the water. Comes in 5 or 6 good colors. But a jig, you pond fishermen, bank fishermen, you guys know when you fire out there and get hung up, you don't have the liberty to go out and unsnag it like we do from a boat or a kayak. So it can get fairly expensive, especially if you're fishing a dam or riprap or something like that, some rock where it gets hung up very often. But these jigs, I believe, retail right around $3 or so, so they don't break the bank, and they work. So today I actually paired these up with 2 different jig trailers for you guys. I paired them up with 2 of my favorite inexpensive jig trailers. This guy right here is a net bait pocket chunk, and this guy right here, this is a big bite bait twin tail grub. The reason I went with 2 different jig trailers for you guys, 2 different actions. This guy, this pocket chunk right here, if you guys haven't thrown them, man, they kick like crazy. Lots of action. You could probably use this on like a chatterbait trailer or something like, I mean, it kicks hard. So if you want to throw a 3/4 ounce jig with a lot of kicking action and really stroke that jig and let it come up and fall and lots of movement, lots of kicking, check out the net bait pocket chunk. If you guys are slowing down and fishing a jig slow, just dragging it and want that real subtle action, this little double tail, twin tail grub is awesome. So check out those guys. If you guys are interested in the jig fishing, if you guys throw a jig and you need some inexpensive trailers, you're tired of going through expensive trailers, check out these 2 trailers and these Bass Patrol jigs. They are awesome. Just like every video, I will leave them down below, all the links, all the baits and our favorite colors, all that sort of stuff down below in the video description. Now let's talk about some crankbaits. Got a couple crankbaits for you, and then we'll talk some swim baits. So we're kind of covering the different categories. I want to talk about square bills, because if you guys know anything about Matter-Eye or our channel, you know that it's springtime. We highly recommend burning a square bill up shallow. And a square bill that is made its way into our arsenal. We fished them for several years, have nothing but great things to say about it, is the Strike King, the 1.5. Comes in great colors, does not break the bank. Again, that is the title of today's video. I believe for under $6, you can get a nice square bill crankbait. You don't necessarily have to change out the hooks on it. I recommend that you do, but again, doesn't break the bank, and in its category, it's fairly inexpensive to the other competitors. But the Strike King, the 1.5 is a must. Get up shallow, burn your docks, burn your grass lines, come up into the tules, the primrose, the bulrushes, whatever vegetation you have on your body of water. You guys fish in the delta, you're fishing the tides, the falling tide out on the outside grass line, burning a square bill is a must. Springtime square bill fishing, we've done entire videos on it, but grab yourself some Strike King 1.5s and you won't be disappointed. One more crankbait for you, and then we'll jump into, I have 2 swim baits for you that I want to share with you, but one more crankbait is going to be an actual lipless crankbait. This is the Cotton Cordell Spot. And if you guys, like I said, if you follow the channel, you know how much Matt loves this bait, how many big fish we've caught on it, some of the fish we've caught down in the Amazon, all that sort of stuff. But one of the cheapest crankbaits, one of the cheapest lipless crankbaits there is out there. Again, we'll link everything down below, but if you guys are looking to get into a lipless crankbait bite, you don't want to shell out the $15 to $20 to $25 on some of those high-end lipless crankbaits. You guys just want to dabble in the technique. The Cotton Cordell, the Super Spot, are must-haves, guys. Very light, has a different sound. Definitely change out the hardware. Typically for me, I change out all hooks and stuff, but again, it doesn't really matter that much to you. Fish it right out of the box. But this guy catches fish, doesn't fall as quickly as some of the heavier lipless cranks, but pond fishermen, kayak fishermen, shallow water fishermen, that is a plus. Doesn't get buried in the grass as bad as some of those 3/4 ounce or 1 ounce baits. But you guys definitely check out the Cotton Cordell Super Spot. This guy right here, this is that chrome blue, but the Super Spot is a must have. Now let's talk swim baits. This guy right here, this is the Storm Wild Eye Sunfish. As you can see, it's not the prettiest bait, but it works. The biggest bass I've personally seen caught on this is 10.2 pounds. A friend of ours caught his PB on this bait right here. It is springtime. If you want, this is a phenomenal sight fishing or bed fishing bait. Remove that bottom hook if need be, and this guy right here is an awesome bed bait. You can swim it, you can hop it like a jig, but this bait right here, it does not break the bank. Very, very inexpensive in the swim bait category. That is a must-have. I always carry these. Matt always carries these. Sometimes those fish just want a smaller bluegill profile. This has the boot tail kicker on it, boot tail on it. A lot more kick than a pulse tail or a wedge tail. really gets those fish aggravated. But that right there is a must-have swim bait that doesn't break the bank and will put big ones in the boat for you. Now, the last bait that I have for you, I gotta be honest, I have not fished this yet. You know, I was at home, saw them on Tackle Warehouse. I ordered them because it looked so good, so I wanna share it with you. Again, I haven't been out, not able to go out and fish it yet, but this bait looks dynamite. This is the Savage Gear Bluegill. It's a 4-inch bait, but check out how good this bait looks. It's a little more expensive than some of the other baits. This is gonna be right around $11 or $12, but in its category, fairly inexpensive. And look at the detail on this guy. How awesome does that bait look? It comes with a built-in rattle, real stout hook. I think this is gonna be an awesome pond bait and an even better bed bait. That is that Savage Gear Bluegill. Again, I'll link everything down below in the video description, but look how cool that bait looks. Now again, I haven't swam it. If it is anything like the 40, the pulse tail, it'll swim phenomenal. But even if it is just a bed bait, that is ultra realistic. And again, 12 bucks, 11, 12 bucks, whatever it may be, not that expensive compared to some of the other bluegill swim baits on the market. But again, the Savage Gear, that thing looks awesome. Guys, myself, I'm a tackle junkie. I'm always buying tackle. So I wanted to do an inexpensive bait video for you guys that want to get out fishing, but maybe want to dabble in different techniques. So these baits right here, those soft plastics, the jigs, the trailers, the square bills, the lipless, the soft plastic, the Yumdinger, and those swim baits are all must-have, and no matter the price point, they're always in my arsenal, and Matt's as well. If you guys have any questions, please leave those down below in the comment section. Hopefully you guys are all doing well and staying safe. Matt and I appreciate you. We're doing our best. You know, luckily we front-loaded a lot of footage. You know, we saw the writing on the wall with how things were playing out, and you know, before we all got locked down, we went out and we got a bunch of footage. So we will keep this footage coming to you guys. We're doing our best to bring you footage and keep you guys informed and give you guys something to watch. Guys, we appreciate you. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We do 3 videos a week, sometimes 4, 5, or 6. Depends on the week. But we appreciate you guys. Have a good one.